Hello guys, welcome to Trust Stitches. In this tutorial, I will teach you guys how to make this princess dart bustier. You can see the photo right there. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell to notify you whenever Trust Stitches post a new video. You can see. Now guys, let's start. I've drawn the line I will be working on. My back, you see that on the screen. Back of 16, bust length of 9, bust point 10.5, under bust 13, waist 16, bust 36, waist 30. That is the waist circumference. You can see guys, from up to 9 inches is my bust line. You can see where I drafted it to 10.5, bust point 13, under bust and 16 waist. Now my back is 7.5, and I added half inches seam allowance, so that's 8. I also marked the 8 at my bust line. You can see guys, the 8, then I make a straight line like this. Now guys, let's go to the tutorial. Now you're going, what next now is our nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement is 9 inches. You decided to go with 8, that's how your circumference is. Now but for me, I'm using 9. 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5. Now I mark the 4.5 at my bust line, at my bust point, under bust and waist. You can see what I did. If you are using 8, you are going to divide it into 2, which is 4. But for me, I'm using 4 and 5. Now you can see I've made a straight line like this. Or you are using 10, which is 5 inches, because we are folding the fabric. Now guys, what we are going to do next is to make a dart. I'm going to use 1.5 inches for my dart as my center front and my side part. You can try to go with 1 inches. That's how you want it. But for me, I want that boobs to come out. Then I'm using 1.5. I mark it at my waist, and my other bust I mark 1.5 inches at both sides. My center front and my side part I mark 1.5. Then I make a straight line. I stop at the under bust. You can see what I did guys. Then I'm going to connect it from my bust point with the help of my French cuff, like so. Then you connect, you join the line together, cuff. So you can try to use your free hand or you use your French cuff. Sometimes I use my free hand, but for this tutorial I use my French cuff. It's so easy to cuff. You can see guys, just place it at your underbody, then you cuff to your bust point. You can see what I did. That is perfect. Now guys, what we're going to do now is that you can see what we have. At this straight line, we're going to find the midpoint. 9 inches divided by 2, which is 4.5. But guys, I'm going to use 4 inches because I noticed that after using 4.5, which is my midpoint, I didn't get the perfect at my bust point. It's so wide. The chest, the center foot, it will be so wide. So I don't want that. So I'm going to reduce it. Instead of me using 4.5, which is my midpoint, I will use 4 inches, because after using the 4.5 I realized that my center foot is so wide. I don't like that. It's not perfect. Now guys, I will use 4 inches. Remember my midpoint, then I remove half, I use 4 inches, then I'm left with 5 inches downward. Then for that 4 inches, you're going to come down by 1. You can see what I did guys. My 4 inches is my midpoint, then I came down by 1 inches. Then next, you are going to connect the 1 inches that we came down to your nipple to nipple point. You can see what I did. I connect it to my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4.5 to 4.5 at the middle. I connect it. I came down by 1 inches for my bust point. For my back, I came down, which is 4. 4 is my midpoint now. I came down by 1, then I connect it. Then what we are going to do now, we are going to find a dart again. I'm going to go up by half inches, then you go down by half inches. Remember, you go up by half, you came down by half inches. We're going to connect the half inches that we came down towards our side part, while half inches that we go up towards our center front. Now guys, watch what I'm going to do. I connect it like this. I stop at my bust line. You can see what I did. I divide my armhole into 2, which is 4. That's 4.5, but I use 4. I came down by 1. Then from that one, I connected to my middle point. Then after that, I came down by half inches at up. Then I came up by half inches. Then I connect it towards my side center foot. Then I connect the remaining half inches toward my side, which is the down half inches toward my side. the upper half inches toward my center front. Now guys, you can see what I have. You can see my 4 inches is my midpoint, not 4.5, because I don't want it wide at the chest. Now we are going to go for our bust. My bust is 36 inches, which is 9 divided by 4, you can see, which is 9 inches. Then I'm going to add what we are going to cut away. I have about half inches there. I'm going to add the half inch because I'm going to cut it away. That is a dart. So we are going to add it back, not to be shortened by fabric. You can see guys, I added the half inches. Then the 1 inches that I'm going to cut away at my bust and my armhole line, we are going to add it back. Make sure to add it not to be shortened by fabric when sewing. Then you add the 1 inches that we are going to cut away. You can see guys, the 1 inches, the half inches that we deduct, we are going to add it back. Then add your seam allowance of 2. I use 2 inches for my seam allowance, both inner or your lining seam allowance. I use 2 inches. Then guys, we are going to come at my side part. I'm going to go out, yes, go out by half inches, because I noticed that after sewing, the side part is more smaller than the center front because it will be shortened. So make sure to add half inches. You can see I go out by half inches, because you can see that the center front is more wide than the side, and I don't want that. I want them to be equal. So I use my pen. I came out by half, then I used my pen to make that armhole curve. I use my free hand. You can decide to use a French curve. You can see guys, at my side part, which is the down, I came out by half inches. So if you can go ahead and measure the both, you can see that they will be equal now, because before I added, if measure it, the side part will be smaller than the center front. I don't want that because I realized that it's shorting my fabric. Then I came out by half. Then after that, I just make the armhole curve. Now guys, let's go for our under bust measurement, which is, mine is 30, which is 7.5. Then I added the 3 inches that I'm going to cut away. Add the 3 inches that back with 2 inches seam allowance. Remember to add the 3 inches. Now at my waist also 30, 7.5. Then the 3 inches we are going to cut away. Make sure to add it back. Then the seam allowance of 2 inches. Then you can see guys, you can see that we didn't have a shape, but don't worry, after joining it we are going to have that curve shape. Now you can see what I did guys. I want you guys to watch the armhole part, and I want you to know how to do that, because it's sort of like it's not hard. Yes. Now we go for my neck width of 3.5 and neck depth of 6 inches. My neck width of 3.5, depth of 6. Then you can decide to go with high neck, canoe neck, sweetheart, any type of neck, any various of neck. Now we're going to go for our shoulder slant. I'm going to use half inches. I won't use 1 because I don't want my armhole to be that tight. Then I'm going to use half inches for my slant, just a little bit slant. Then you're going to slant it from that to your neckline. You can see what I did. I slant it there. Now guys, after that, you can see what we have. Remember, my armhole is 9. I divided it to 2, which is 4.5. But I didn't use the 4.5 because the chest part is more wider than the side. So I used 4 for my middle point. So my midpoint is 4. After that, I came down by 1 inches. After the 1 inches, I connect the 1 inches that I came down, connect it to my bust line. That is the middle, my nipple measurement. Then I came down by half inches. I connect that to my side part. I came up by half. I connect that to my center front. You can see. Then my side part, I came out by half inches because I realized that I am shorting by fabric after sewing it. So from that half inches, I connect it to my armhole after adding all the necessary measurements. Then guys, I want you to watch this clearly how I cut it. Then let's cut it out. I start from at the down, not to make any mistake. Make sure to start at the down part. Then you just cut easily. You cut it gently. You can see guys, my side part now. Remember at that side part, I came out by half. Make sure to cut it, your neck. Then I cut the neck out. Then I stop right there. Then you cut. That is for my center front. But for my side part, you know that we came out by half. Then we are going to cut it. Now we have cut out the 1 inches that we added now. Yes guys, you can see what I have. It's so quick to make, just few minutes. I'm done with it. Then my shoulder slant. Yes, guys, you can see what I have. You can see trust stitches. My princess busting. Wow, it's so quick. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell to notify you whenever I post a new video. Then follow me up on Instagram at trust stitches. See you in my next video. Bye bye.